Welcome back. It's time to chart your course for the week. We created this Motivational Monday series to help you get energized with some positive vibes sprinkled in. Today's topic is Don't Stop Trying. You are worth the effort. Award-winning author Stacy Hawkins Adams is here to lead our conversation this morning. It's always good to see you.
You as well.
Okay, so when I first read this, I read it as Don't Stop Trying. It is worth the effort. But there's a key word in there. You are worth the effort. So maybe this suggests that you need to keep trying for you.
Exactly. Don't give up on you. Don't give up on your goals, your dreams, whatever you want to do for yourself. So this week, a lot of kids have started school. We talked about that this morning, which means the parents are back in school as well. And some people are still enjoying the last hurrah of summer. So whatever this week is meant to bring for you, don't give up on you. Whatever that vision is, whatever that goal is, tell yourself you can do it and you can make it happen.
So it's not too late to keep after those things that maybe are on your list, still unchecked. I've been looking at my goals from back in January to see, okay, are we still on track? Is there something that we need to adjust or that has been adjusted for me? But we're not too late to make sure that it can happen, at least in some form.
Exactly, exactly. This is a good reset season because of the school year or because you're thinking end of summer, fall is coming. So it's a good week to pause and look at that to-do list, look at that goal list or resolution list, or even just look at how you're feeling. Think about how you're feeling. Is this a week that I need to take some extra rest? Is this a week I need to pause and reassess and ask myself, what do I really want? Or is it a week to kind of rev up, get myself going for the rest of this year?
And I think, as you mentioned, that's going to be different for everyone.
Yes.
But in the hustle and bustle of going back to school and what that's going to look like, it's also easy for us as parents, as caregivers, even teachers or those who are working with students to lose track of our own individual goals and priorities because we're sowing into that next generation.
Absolutely. This is the perfect time to think about you. And again, we often think that that's selfish to think about yourself, but when your vessel is full, you can pour from the overflow. When you are your best self, you give your best to others. When we are cranky, when we're tired, when we're rushing, when we're not our best selves, we often have to go back and apologize, or we're thinking about, oh, I didn't do that quite right. That's okay too. But this is a week to really just be really intentional about focusing on yourself, your needs. How do I feel this well? How do I decide what that's going to look like day to day going forward, so you can be sure to make sure you're taking care of yourself as well as others?
As you were talking, I was also thinking about those moms who might have a little moms, dads, grandmothers, aunts, uncles, caregivers who might have some tears in their eyes this morning.
Yes.
And thinking about their student going back to school, those who have those milestone years, whether that's kindergarten or their senior year, that it can be an emotional times, taking inventory of how you feel and making sure you are being patient with that student, or thinking of them this week as they transition into a new environment is really important.
Right, right. And being patient with yourself, being patient with those tears, knowing it is the end of an era, but it doesn't have to be, it's the beginning of something beautiful as well. My children are young adults now, and I remember, and I tell my friends who have young children, and remember to think about every stage I tried to enjoy. So there were those crazy seasons of soccer momming and musical theater and trying to get dinner on the table, and you're just busy with work. So that is a real thing, but how can you be present as possible in those moments so you can enjoy them? And if you happen to be the employer, think about your employees coming in today who might be a little sad or a little bit emotional, and give them the space to feel what they need to feel, because then they're showing up at work as their full selves, and then you bring your full self to everything you do.
Yes. Okay, so I have a key question for you then. There's two sides of it. One, thinking back to those times where you were sending a little one off to school.
Yes.
What's your top tip for those who might be in that age and stage? And then now that you don't get anyone off to school in that same way, how do you continue to kind of sow into yourself at this time of the year?
I love that. So the first question, thinking back, I was that teary-eyed mom, and I was a mom who was sad when the kids hopped out of the car, like very excited to go in. They were like, bye, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, they didn't miss me? I'm sitting here crying, they're happy. But the thing is, we have to remember as parents, we're molding people with purpose. And so we want to give them roots and wings. We want to give them, we want them to be happy to soar. And so even though it's a little bittersweet for us, we're doing what we're meant to do because we're helping them become the people they're meant to be. So that's kind of how I dealt with with the younger stages. And now with my kids being young adults, they often tell me that they remember the things that I did to pour into them. So that's very rewarding for me to know that those times when I was tired or making that extra effort, it really paid off. And I look back now at the young kids and at the moms, and I just say, hang in there, because you're going to see that reward later. Because I do see that with my kids, you know, my young adults. They're still my kids, but I see that in them, and so that's been very rewarding.
Don't stop trying. You are worth the effort. They are worth the effort. There's still time to do all the things that we want to do for ourselves. Thank you so much for giving us something to really think about, and a few nuggets, whether we're teary-eyed or not this morning, that's going to kick us into the season.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Well, Stacy offers a weekly Motivational Monday newsletter by email. If you're interested in subscribing, you can visit stacyhawkinsadams.com.